Okay, so we want to talk about spline modeling. It has other names. You'll hear it called spline cage modeling, because as you're going to see, we're going to create a cage out of splines and apply a surface modifier to that cage. Now, keep in mind that your splines can't have anything but 3 or 4 sides in order for the surface modifier to work. And if you've applied a surface modifier and it's not working, check the number of edges on your spline. And if it's more than 4, it's not going to work. And if it's less than 3, it's not going to work. Okay? So I will tell you, I find spline cage modeling a little one of the more difficult things to learn. However, the more you practice, the better you get, the more you're going to find that you can do with this. Any models that you've seen of cars or vehicles have probably been done using this method. A lot of character modeling is done using this method. And so we're going to start off very basic and very simple. And I want you guys to make sure that you're keeping your designs simple enough to learn how to use this and meet your deadlines. Don't get too complicated. The more complicated your models get, the harder it's going to be and the more frustrated you're going to get when it's too challenging. Okay? So let's start with, I'm just going to start with lines. And in this, you always want to start off with smooth, or corners, sorry. You just want a rough drawing, and I'm going to pretend very quickly that I have a object that I'm creating here, okay? And what I'm going to do is I just want to create a tent, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the outline of my tent using this series of splines, okay? So once I've drawn this, and I just actually realized I drew it in the wrong view. I should have drawn it over here, but it's okay. We'll do a side tent. Once I've drawn this, I can go to my Edit tab and make adjustments to my vertices as we learned in 2400. Just make sure everything's right. This is not perfect, but we can fix it. Adjustments to it. Okay, so once I've done that, I want to come through, and I'm going to zoom out here so you can see this. I'm going to move all these over so you can see them. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to come in here and I want to add edges, okay? Because right now this is flat. And I want to do that by coming down here. I'm going to scroll all the way down here to where it says Refine and Connect, okay? And this is under Geometry, Refine and Connect. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow us to add edges with vertices. And over here, I'm going to right click on my snaps toggle and make sure only vertex is selected, just vertex. And I'm going to use this toggle to make sure I'm snapping to my vertices. Okay, so just vertex. Just change that, turn that off. Okay, so I'm going to now select this. I'm going to hit my connect, and then I'm going to turn on refine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap to this point and to this point, and then right click to end it. And you see it has put a line in between those two vertices. Now, this stays active until you deactivate it, and right clicking off the object will deactivate it. You can continue to click. So I just clicked off of it because I just wanted that one line. Now I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to hit here, and then I'm going to hit here, and then I'm going to hit here. And you see it's added that vertex, and when I right click, it draws my edge. Now, I hit here because I need that point to be able to pull up. Alright, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to click from here to here to here, and then right click. Now, I'm going to need to come in here select this and fuse, come down here to fuse those vertices together. Okay. Whenever you add these in, you want to make sure that you're fusing them together. I'm not sure if it lets me do the whole. Yeah, it won't. It grays out if you try to do them all. No, let's see. Oh, no, it fuses everything into one point. Okay, so that's what happens. So there may be two, since I created a line here. There's most likely two. So just go around and make sure that your vertices are fused together all the way around your object. It just makes your life simpler to check that as you go. Okay? So anywhere that you've added new geometry, go ahead and fuse it. Now what you're going to see is going to happen is I'm going to be able to do one other thing here. Scroll all the way back up here. And you see where it says area selection, under selection, name selection. That box, check it. Because if you don't and you click on this, it's going to move your vertices independently of each other. Okay. And also, by fusing them, if they weren't touching, they are now. Just in case you forget to use the snaps toggle. And in case it doesn't work, because sometimes, yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to come over here to my top view, and I'm going to pull it up. Whoops. See what happened? It curved that. I don't want them curved. So I'm going to select my whole object over here, right click, and make sure they're all corners. I want this to remain as corners. Okay, so I'm going to select this. You should be able to just click on it now that we have adjusted this area selection, but I've just gotten in the habit of doing this to make sure. Okay, come over here, click on it, and now I'm lifting that up. Come back and click on that one. Click over here and lifting that up. Whoops, wrong way, wrong thing. And this is one of those times when you want to double check. And because it's not hurting anything, you actually can move this in your perspective view a little bit just to get it. Oh, it's not letting me select it right. And this is what can be a little frustrating about it. And you'll see people often do this. Yeah, see, I didn't select something right. So the whole thing is messed up. And that's where you have to be. It's not letting me undo it now that I've pulled it up. Okay, so what I have to do is come back over here. Pull this down. Okay. So now I should be able to, there we go. Nope. I need it to work over here, so let's work on it over there. Okay. What happened? Okay, it's not working with me today. There we go. Okay, so now I want to select that, pull that up, select that, pull that up, and you can see that's what I wanted it to do. When I come back now and add this surface modifier, which you go to your modify tab. Oh, we're already on it, sorry. Surface. And you see it has added a surface now. It looks like it's okay. If it's not, yeah, it's okay. It's put it on the right side. If it doesn't, you can flip the normals right here on that surface modifier. Fortunately, you don't have to add the normal modifier on top of that. Okay, and that's how you create a surface. Now I did that sideways, but and then you can turbo smooth that to get a little more refined. You see I now have sideways, but I now have a, yeah, that's right. Okay, so I now have this shape that I've created, and if I want to go one step further, and add my symmetry. That didn't work. Interesting. Oh, no, it did. Okay, there we go. I got it now. And remember, bring that below your turbo smooth, otherwise it does weird things to your seam. Oh, no? Okay. Made a liar out of me. There we go. Okay, and so now I've created this object, which, if you want, you can convert to an editable poly and then continue to work with it from there. Oh, I wouldn't do it with the turbo smooth on. I'd turn the turbo smooth off first. And then convert it. And then add the turbo smooth. One thing I try not to ever do is, oh, of course now it's not working because it worked before fine. And one of the ways you could fix that would be to create edges along here. One of the reasons the turbo smooth isn't working with this is because of the fact that there's just one line. And so when it tries to smooth that out, it does weird stuff. So you would need additional edges on both sides to chamfer it. Let's see, let's try chamfering it. Just always about finding easy solutions. That may have done it. There you go. Okay. And so now I've got this new cool shape. It looks like the normals are off. Figures, right? Just check everything before you convert it. I've got 15 minutes to try to explain all this stuff, and sometimes I get ahead of myself. But it's good for you guys to see me make mistakes, because then you see how to fix them. So, those are your friends. Let me know if you have any questions.